everyone. My name is Ahad Sabra. This is Kyle Leedale. We have Sarah McGeady, Reggie Houston, and we have Jamila Valentine. Today, we are here to talk to you guys about Vets for Pets. Vets for Pets is a clinic, and they are wanting to expand, and we're here today to talk about information system, information technology. So our agenda for today, we're going to talk to you guys about the introduction, of course, what we're trying to accomplish, human resource management, what it is, what does it consist of, information system, information technology, and how it is handled in today's world, trends, which include some of the vendors that we have researched. We're going to go through our analysis of the benefits and costs, and then we have the limitations for implementing such systems. And then we have the risks that are associated with handling those information systems, with implementing them. And then we have our conclusion and recommendation for the executive management of Vets for Pets. So first of all, Vets for Pets, again, is an animal clinic, and they are trying to expand. So with that being said, they need a system, an information system, information technology to handle all of their growing needs and wants. So with that, we were asked, our team, the blue team, was asked to provide them with a vendor that is going to be able to handle the information associated with human resource management and how we can make sure all of that is taken care of throughout this process. So human resource management, basically what it is tasked with managing employees. And first of all, we have the hiring. We got to look for people that are qualified to occupy those positions, from doctors to secretaries to IT guys or IT people who are going to be handling this system. And then training, of course, we got to make sure that all of those people that we are working with, make sure that they know what they're doing, so this way they are being most productive and very efficient in their job. And then employee information, that is very important, such as social security, their name, their birthday. All of that information is very important for human resource management and make sure that it stays secure. Another component is benefits. Benefits is basically how some employees can make more money or have such priority in the organization. And of course, then we have regulations dealing with legal regulations and the government. So with that being said, human resource management is tasked with handling all of the legality to make sure that employees are compensated fairly, they are not being mistreated or anything of that sort. And then payroll, of course, making sure that employees are compensated fairly for the job that they are doing and not that they're off the clock or doing something unproductive and they're still getting paid. And then of course firing, handling that with unemployment benefits and anything of that sort. That is another component of human resource management. So again, that is a lot of information to sort and handle. So how can we manage all of those components of human resource management? Well, that's a very good question. We have information system and information technology. It is one of the most important components for organizations to run efficiently and make sure that everything is productive. They help in all departments, from marketing to HR to production, and then we also they organize data and translate it into meaningful information. With all of this data, we cannot, if it's not sorted into good information for the executive management to see, then it's just all for nothing. So that's where ISIT comes in handy. And then it's helpful in the overall business processes for Vets for Pets. So some of the trends, again, information system, information technology is one of the most important aspects. And in our research, we evaluated 3 different vendors for information technology, information systems. And some of them are Time Doctor, Chronos, and Deputy. Now, Time Doctor was great. It's one of the newest ones out there right now on the market. And they are great for tracking employee activity, making sure that they're staying productive. They're not going off on Facebook, Twitter, or other social media outlets that are kind of becoming distracting in today's world. And then Chronos. Chronos is actually one of the most prominent ones. They handle about 40 million employees daily, and they've been around for a long time, and they've been adapting, and they're growing. And then we have also Deputy, which is also another fairly new one, and it excels in communication between employees and employers, making sure everybody is on the same page as to what needs to be done. However, for our purposes in our research and analysis, we decided to go with Chronos, which is the most prominent one. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead right now and talk to you guys about them, about their costs and benefits, and Jamila is gonna talk to you guys about that.
Okay. Like stated previously, Chronos was the most prominent vendor that we had looked into. So Chronos has many benefits, and it's an overall package that will be able to get different things such as security, keep employee information private. It's just an overall vendor that'll hit every aspect of the HR system that we have. The main benefit that we focus on was the security that Chronos provides in their systems, and this is great for human resources because the information that we hold is very vital to the company because it is employee information as well as the veterinarian information as well as even the founding people of the company's information. So this information should not be leaked. So the fact that Chronos offers a very secure system is great. And within Chronos, we're able to customize different aspects of our system. So through those customizations, the prices could vary from $5,000 to $1 million depending on the size of the system. So just based on the fact that we can customize things to our needs and to the HR needs of Vets for Pets was a great benefit for our company through Chronos. And next, Sarah will be talking about the limitations.
When taking into consideration the various needs and aspects that Vets for Pets will consider when expanding its business and taking on a new human resources information system, we can't be without some limitations. Some of the limitations that we did find was that the human resources and payroll portion of Chronos software is only available in English. We didn't think that that would be a problem unless the company decides to expand internationally. Human resources management system is not accessible on mobile devices. So the workforce, human resources, and payroll are part of a web-based workforce management solutions. So internet connectivity is required to access this data. We don't think this will be a problem. There's really probably not going to be a need to access this information outside of work hours. To access this data, you just have to be at the office. Also, the browser support is limited to Internet Explorer because it's a Microsoft-based product. We don't think this should be a problem unless Vets for Pets has an issue with using Internet Explorer for its internet service. And then lastly, the Chronos Human Resources software requires heavy browser plugins, which is a benefit because this can enforce customization, and it has the ability to add new features. And then also third-party developers can extend the application. The only limitation with this is that it could add on additional costs when implementing the new software. And these considerations are, these limitations are minor when considering what Chronos does have to offer. So we thought that this would still benefit Vets for Pets. Next, Kyle is going to talk about some other risks.
All right, so when adding any large information system into a company, there's always going to be a few risks to note. One of these risks is just the implementation of Chronos itself. Essentially, a drawback here is when we implement Chronos, we're going to require at least 1 week of training for all employees using Chronos. So we gauge this as problematic because this could draw time away from business operations and Vets for Pets. This could just essentially be a tedious process in some way. However, we view this as more of a short-term tedious process. The long-term effects will be much more substantial. After Kronos is implemented, business operations will be much more smooth and much more seamless process. Another risk to note is data loss. Information technology is a great asset for managing large amounts of data. However, it can be highly problematic if data is destroyed or lost. Examples of this include natural disasters, weak security, or corrupted data. So how do we minimize this risk? We can minimize this risk by using cloud data. Essentially, cloud data will allow all the data to be stored in a cloud. So if the data is lost due to weak security or corrupted data or is destroyed, that data could then be retrieved by employees operating the IT. So essentially that mitigates that risk. So ultimately, we view these risks as short-term versus long-term. The risks could be not so great short-term, but the long-term effects of implementing Kronos could help the company a lot. And now Reggie will discuss the recommendations.
After conducting research, we came up with a number of recommendations. The first one would be to begin filling positions within the organization immediately because of the expansion of Best Protect. We will also want to implement the Kronos software, which will in return handle employee and customer data. Furthermore, the Kronos features a great balance of cost and high customization of HRM components. And then our overall recommendation compiling all of those would be to implement the Kronos software as soon as possible. Because of the expansion, we want to fill those positions and also organize those new employees' information as well as new customers. And we have our conclusion. Overall, we've observed that Best Protect is a growing business. The human resource management department is one of the most important aspects for any business or any organization. ISIT is as well highly important within executive management in order to ease business operations. And then our final decision, as stated before, Kronos software is the best choice amongst the 3 vendors that we've included in this presentation. And lastly, Kronos exceeds the criteria and needs of Best Protect for this specific scenario. Thank you for listening to our presentation.